I don't save dollars because I don't trust the US dollar. And I just save gold and silver and recently Bitcoin. And the reason is because of 1971, when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, the dollar became fake. So now that COVID has hit and they printed more money in 2020 than they did in the first 200 years of our country. And still people are saving dollars. You should be buying some gold, some silver, and you can afford it, Bitcoin. Silver today is a bargain. I mean, today is around November 15th, I think, or whatever it is. And I can buy a silver eagle for about 30 bucks. And everybody in the world can afford 30 bucks. But the average person has been conditioned to think about paper, fake money, fake dollars. At the same time, they're printing as much money as they possibly can. They give it to their rich friends. They don't give it to us. And then they print it and interest rates keep going down. So in 1974, when I got out of the Marine Corps, if I had $1 million, which I didn't, I could put $1 million in 74 into a savings and loan, a bank, in a certificate of deposit, and they would pay me 15% on my $1 million. So a lot of people have made a lot of money. They just put their money into the bank, and they're being paid 15% interest. So $1 million back in 74 was worth approximately $150,000. Now it's not a lot of money to retire on, but you could have retired on $150,000 in 1974. Today, I take $1 million into the bank, I might get 2%. So that means it went from $150,000 to $20,000. And after taxes, that $20,000 might be worth $15,000. In other words, since 1974, the US dollar has lost 90% of its value, and people still say to their kids, save money. You've got to be crazy. They're going to, now that the elections are over and all this, I don't care if it's Trump or Biden, they're going to have to print so much money just to pay for all of the social entitlement programs so people don't riot. They can't afford to have any more rioting. So they're going to print more and more money, and people are still saving dollars or yen or euro or pesos. Right now, you should be saving gold, silver, or Bitcoin. And the thing is in the year 2000, I started buying gold at $250 an ounce. And today it's worth 10 times that much, approximately. So I'm very happy with my gold. And silver was like $2 or $3 or something, and now it's worth 30. And the Bitcoin I bought, thank God I was buying it at 9,000. And today it's worth over $1 million. But the reason for that has nothing to do with gold, silver, or Bitcoin. It has to do with the incompetence of the Federal Reserve Bank, or the corruption of the Federal Reserve Bank, the US Treasury, and Wall Street. So I'm not saying Bitcoin, and people get into what I call pissing matches. Which is better, gold or Bitcoin? Who cares? The question is, how much do you have? That's all that counts right now. Because the reason you buy gold, silver, or Bitcoin is for the same reason. If you trust the US government or the central banks, the Fed, and Wall Street, then save money. But if you don't, then buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And the thing I like about Bitcoin is that I can run with it. It's just a number in my head. And my trouble with my gold and silver, I got so much of it, I have to lug it. It's hard to get it around. So when I started looking into Bitcoin, it was already starting to come up, so I started buying it around 9,000. And today I think it's around 15 or 16,000. I don't know what it is. I don't count that. I just count the number of coins I have. That's it. And I'm buying more. The reason I like gold, silver, and Bitcoin is this. The trouble with the US dollar, the more it drops in value, the more they print. Let me say that again. The US dollar, the yen, the peso, the euro, as it drops in value, because interest rates keep dropping, they print more of it, and people save it. Talk about losers. Get it through your head. They're printing it. It's getting worth, it's worth less and less and less. Whereas Bitcoin, the thing I like about it, excuse me, because the more valuable, more expensive Bitcoin gets, they print less of it. It's called a halving. So the price goes up, but the quantity comes down. And check the dollar out. The value of the dollar comes down, but they print more of it. Why would you save it? But it's the same with gold and silver. And the reason I endorse silver is because everybody can afford it. Today it costs you about $30 for a US silver eagle. I'm not saying it's going to make you rich, but if you have 20 million of them, you'll be rich. If you just kept saving silver, the way I kept saving gold, and now I'm saving Bitcoin, you don't have to go to college to save it. Just buy it, hide it. Buy it and hide it. You keep it out of the sight of the US government or your government. The people that bought gold, silver, or Bitcoin, let's say live in Argentina, you're so much richer today than a person who saved pesos. And it's the same as my friend in Australia. You know, if you're saving the Aussie dollar, you're going to be crazy, or the Singapore dollar, or the Canadian dollar. So, you know, how many ounces? What percent should you have? 5%, 10%? The hell with the percentage. Just get as much as you can, because when this COVID thing finally blows over, the problems are still around. Our national debt is so high. We have so many people on entitlement plans. Our pensions are about to go broke. The US government is broke. Our debt to GDP in America today is 130% debt to GDP. At 90% debt to GDP, it's over with. So we went from 90% to 130%. That means we can't pay off our bills. So they're going to have to keep printing more fake US dollars or pesos or yen or euro, whatever you're saving. But right now, if you can get your hands on gold, silver, or Bitcoin, I don't care which one, but it's better than saving fake money.
What's going on, everyone? Good evening. Good evening. Oh, let me get that up there. Hi there. Hopefully you can see me okay. What's going on? Hello, hello, welcome. All right. So here's a couple of housekeeping rules. Man, first of all, if you are saving money, you are not a loser. Let's just clarify that, Robert. But you definitely are losing money. So tonight we have a lot of exciting things to talk about. So definitely, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're tuning in. And for the next 45 minutes or so, I'm gonna do my best to just give you a lot of knowledge around the macro economics that's taking place in the world today, and how STF Academy over the last 10 months has helped hundreds of folks really just begin to change their life, not just from a personal and professional growth, but just financially having impacted a lot of lives. So housekeeping rules, if you're watching this live right now, or you guys are, but if you're catching the recording, that will be made available later. You can ask questions afterwards. You can email me, you can contact me. This is unscripted, so we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to chat. I want to tell you all about STF Academy, about myself. And if you have any comments or anything, just post them in the chat box. Any questions you have, I'll do my best to answer them at the end of the presentation. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I see a couple of you guys are local folks. I know you, and then some of you I don't know, so welcome. Let's take a look at tonight's agenda. So tonight we're going to talk about, I'm going to introduce myself. We're going to talk about what is happening in the world of finance, and then we're also going to talk about what role does cryptocurrency play and why you should care. And lastly, we're going to talk about what is STF Academy and what can you expect from it? What can you really expect from the Academy and everything that it has to offer? So why don't you say we just dive right into it and tell you a little bit about myself and why I do what I do and why I'm here. And if you see, I love to travel. It's one of my greatest passions in the world. I love to see the world. My wife and I are avid travelers. We love to travel, and now with our little one. We've taken her on some trips now. She's got a couple of stamps on her passport already. So, but my background is in finance. I was a former VP, Bank of America. I did small business lending. So I worked with their lending division from 2014 till 2017. Great job, loved it. But corporate America was just very difficult for me because one, maybe you're a lot like me. I just felt like I was very undervalued for what I was doing. I felt like my intelligence and the things that I could do for Bank of America far exceeded what they were paying me and what they were willing to pay me. And I don't know if you ever felt like this, but I just felt overworked and underpaid and underappreciated. So I left that job in 2017 to just focus on entrepreneurship. And I became a co-founder of a private hedge fund in cryptocurrencies in 2018. I was introduced to cryptocurrencies in 2015, but I didn't actually do anything with it until 2016 and 2017 is when I started to get very serious about it. And in 2018, I started a hedge fund called NodeMatch with a business partner of mine. And since then, we've raised quite a bit of money from friends, family. It's a private hedge fund, and we've actually generated multiple six figures now in returns, not just in US dollars, but in Bitcoin. We generated nearly $500,000, a little over $500,000 in returns to our family and friends who believed in us in 2018 when we built the fund. And as you can see, we've actually generated over 200% ROI on our investors' money. So that's pretty awesome. It's a great testimony. It's a great story. A lot of the stuff that I teach today is from lessons that I took from building this hedge fund for the last 3 years, especially during the bear market that took place from the January 2018 to about it began to end in April 2020 after the COVID crash. That's when the next bull market really began. But nevertheless, I have a lot of experience in cryptocurrencies, and I'm also an angel investor and the chief operations officer of Bitfinian.com, a cryptocurrency exchange founded in 2019 that has now evolved actually to a decentralized financial ecosystem called Eons. And we'll talk about that. If you decide to engage in the courses, you'll learn a lot about Eons and what we're working on and what we're building, because it has a lot to do with financial freedom, using the blockchain in the form of liquidity mining and getting higher yields for your money. So getting higher interest rates for lending. And I mean, it sounds very complex, but the reality is it's very simple. The idea was to make it dummy proof for people to use. And our Eons mobile app is just that. So think like Cash App, but on steroids. So that's what we've been working on for the last two and a half years now. Really, we started early 2019. Now, I did lead $1 million euro raise to fund Bitfinian, which was about $1.1 million US dollars at the time. And we raised it in 2019. It took us about 70 days to raise this money to build the exchange. And it was a great exchange. It was very successful launch from our standpoint with the resources that we had, but we realized very quickly that we needed to shift and evolve into a more future-proof, I guess would be the word I'm looking for, future-proof platform. And that's what we came up with the concept for Eons. Now, I've also ran a venture capital fund. I'm the general managing partner of Big FinTech LP, and I'm a world traveler. I love to travel. It's one of my passions. Been all over the world. I've taken, I think, close to 60 different trips in the last 4 years. Just really been blessed to check a lot of things off my bucket list with my wife. But the thing that I'm most proud of out of everything that I've done in life and I've accomplished in life is I'm a dad. I'm a proud father, proud husband, but this is my bundle of joy. Her name is Mila. She is about to turn 1 already. Unbelievable. She was like 6 months old in that photo. But yeah, she's almost 1 now. And I share this stuff just so you know that I'm a real person, just like you and me. Just like you and I'm a normal person. I'm not, God's gift to the world. I'm just a regular guy with a little bit of exceptional amount of knowledge in an area that's very underdeveloped, which is cryptocurrency. So I'm going to help you on this journey, and I'm going to teach you everything that I know that I've learned over the last 4.5, 5 years, really, of pouring myself into this space. But before we do that, we got to understand why we're here, right? We have to see what has driven us to get to this place and what's happening in the world of finance. Well, right now in the world of finance, we're experiencing historic low savings account interest rates because of all the inflation, like Robert mentioned in the video, all the inflation that's taking place in the world due to the newly minted United States dollars and other countries that have also minted new fiat currency. So according to bankrate.com, the standard savings rate has fallen to an all-time low of 0.01 APY, or annual percentage yield, yet banking institutions currently house the highest depository amount in the history of the United States, with $15 trillion, $15.7 trillion sitting in bank accounts. And they have the green light to lend out as high as 90% of it. So, I mean, they can leverage this money just so much more than you can. So they can make a lot of money on your money, but they're not paying you accordingly. And quite frankly, they don't have to, because they're all in agreement with each other according to what the Federal Reserve rate sets, right? So the Federal Reserve sets the rate, and then all banks play by those rules. And even though they're making billions and billions of dollars on your money, it's going to them, to executives, to stockholders, because every bank, let's face it, every bank in the United States is a privately held institution. They're not public banks. They're not government banks. Most of them are private institutions, unless it's some sort of federal credit union or something along those lines. They're all private institutions. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, PNC, they're all private financial institutions that have to answer to investors in Wall Street. So they don't care about you. They care about their investors, because they're the ones who keep the lights on, right? Ultimately, if their investors all pull out, then there's no business. So since 2019, the Federal Reserve has injected over $9 trillion into the United States economy. This accounts for 22% of all the US dollars created since the birth of the nation. Like Robert said, in the last 2 years, really, we have printed more money than we ever have in the history of the United States. Think about that statement right there. We have printed more money in the last 2 years than we have in the entire 200 years that this country has existed. We are going to feel what that does to the economy in the upcoming years. We have to. It is impossible not to, right? So we're going to feel those effects here shortly. So what does that mean for you, right? What does that mean to you? Well, for you financially, it means that you're losing money by keeping your money in the bank. Right now, $300 billion a year are lost annually. Sorry, that's what annually means, yearly. So $300 billion a year are lost every single year, and an estimated $12 trillion are sitting in bank accounts earning 0.1% over the last 10 years. So how are you supposed to save money? How are you supposed to make any real money? Like Robert Kiyosaki said, when he left the military, he was getting 15% on his money. That is literally like 1,500 times higher than what you're seeing there. Maybe 15,000 times higher, right? Because 1,500 times would be, what is that word? 0.01%. So it'd be 1.5, be 10 times, 15%. Yeah, so 15% would be 1,000 times higher. Wow, that's incredible. Geez. Yeah, so it's a 0.01 times 10. Wow, it's a really... No, it's times 100. It's 100 times higher. Okay. I was going to say, my goodness, no, it's not. It's 150 times higher than 0.1. I was going to say, that sounds like a lot, JC. Whew. So, yeah, because 10 times would have been 1%. So, yeah, man, 150 times more money. I mean, the interest rate is 150 times greater back then than it was now. So, yeah, how are you supposed to save $1 million that way? I mean, think about it. If you're getting 150 times less interest in your bank account, well, if you were to want to save $1 million, which is like what most people see as like the pinnacle of wealth, but obviously that is not the case anymore now because of inflation. But anyways, let's say you wanted to save $1 million because maybe you don't have $1 million in your bank account. And if you had $20,000 in the bank account right now in your bank account, $20,000, and you started adding $1,000 a month, every single month, based on the highest rate of return from a 5-year certificate of deposit, which is called CD, right? You would take 65 and a half years to get to $1 million. 65 and a half years to get to $1 million. That is a very long time. That's a very long time to be out there, you know, saving money, and not to consider life events and things that happen. So you realistically will probably never get there. If you're already in your 30s, you probably will never get there if you're not able to save $1,000 a month for the next 65 years. So here's the crazy thing. Even when you reach 65 years from now at a 3% rate of inflation, which right now we're at 5.5%, at a 3% rate of inflation, you would have actually needed to have saved $6.8 million in order to have the same purchasing power that $1 million has today. So your money has to grow. Your money has to grow because more of it is being printed every single day. So let's put this into perspective. Realistically, how would you save $6.8 million in the next 65 years? If you're in your 40s, how will you even do that? If you're in your 30s, right? The only people that could possibly have a chance of doing it is somebody that's being born right now, and they have to start right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is math. It's not like we're coming up with some crazy theory. Like, this is math. These are the real numbers. It's pretty freaking scary. And right now, that doesn't take into consideration consumer debt, right? Consumer debt, the average American has $90,000 in debt. $90,000 in debt, which because of the interest rates on your debt, they may never get out of that debt. I mean, look at the Gen X, people from the ages of 40 to 55, they have $135,000 in debt. So if you can't pay your debts, you can't save your money, how are you supposed to be financially free? How are you supposed to be financially free? Or are you supposed to just work until the day you die? Well, what role does cryptocurrency play in all this, and why should you care? Well, in the last 12 years alone, I'm only going to talk about Bitcoin. I'm not going to talk about the entire industry of cryptocurrencies. I'm only going to focus on Bitcoin. And I'm going to tell you this. In the last 12 years, Bitcoin has created over 25,000 new millionaires. In the last 12 years, 25,000 new millionaires. The SEC declared Bitcoin a commodity, calling it digital gold, very similar to gold. Global adoption right now is less than 5%. Imagine that, less than 5%. So what happens when 20% are in, 50%, you know, what happens when the whole world is participating in this? 25,000 new millionaires in just a little over 10 years, right? Institutions like PayPal, Square, if you've been on Cash App lately, you see that you can buy Bitcoin. If you have Venmo, you can buy Bitcoin. If you have PayPal, you can buy Bitcoin. All these things are now available on these platforms. You can actually buy cryptocurrencies on these platforms. So think about the amount of users that PayPal has alone, right? Like over 300 million users now have access to cryptocurrencies. Institutions like PayPal and Square are around adoption. And then you look at, for example, what I think is the coolest thing about cryptocurrencies is the blockchain is arguably the most innovative technological advancement since the invention of the internet, hands down. And I don't put it above the internet because it needs the internet in order to work. But the blockchain, this digital decentralized ledger is changing the world and the way that we do business. And technological advances in this space allow for new users like you and I, right, to earn passive income from savings-like products. So let's take a look at the market cap of cryptocurrencies. Right now, it's sitting at around $1.6 trillion at the time that I made this slide. As of today, it's around 1.8 trillion. So that's very small. I mean, if you think about it, it's only about 22% of gold's market cap, just gold. Not the S&P 500, not Apple, not Microsoft or Facebook, just gold. Amazon's market cap is 1.6 trillion. It's actually right now, what's a good point? It's about the same size of just Amazon right now. The entire cryptocurrency industry is the size of one company in the S&P 500. So imagine the entire S&P 500 that's made up of trillions and trillions of dollars. I think it's somewhere around $37 trillion. And gold, this market cap is around $9 trillion. The industry is so small, it's so early. And look at the performance that it has done so far. Had you taken $20,000 5 years ago and bought Bitcoin in 2015, by 2020, by almost a year ago, you would have $1.1 million on a $20,000 investment. That's a little bit higher now, actually. It's closer to like 1.7 million, because the price of Bitcoin right now is around $40,000. And at the time of recording this, it was around $20,000. So think about that. Man, $1.7 million on a $20,000 investment, right? But let's say you couldn't do that. Let's say you missed the boat, which most of us watching this did, right? What if you could save $1 million in crypto? Oh, how would you do that, JC? It's a great question. See, if you took the same $20,000 that you're saving in a bank account today and you put it into crypto with adding $1,000 a month at the current rate of return of 12%, in 18 years, you will have $1 million. In 18 years, not 65 years, but in 18 years, you will have $1 million saved in US dollars by just using the cryptocurrency saving tools that exist today. Well, what is that? Well, we're going to talk about DeFi a little later on tonight. But man, think about that, 18 and a half years versus 65 years. What would you rather partake in, right? And I just give you an example of my personal success. In 2019, I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, a token called Alco, which I went on to become the CEO of that project, a token called Reserve Rights, and a token called Cody. About $5,000, $1,000 worth of each one. And by November 25th, 2020, it's much higher now, but that had turned into $105,000 roughly. It's actually closer to $200,000 now on a $5,000 investment, 200 grand on a $5,000 investment. So just at that time alone is a 1,900% return, 1,982% return. That's a really, really ridiculous, insane return. I mean, you would have to have gotten into like Apple when it got created in the 70s for you to have had some sort of return like this. I mean, it's unbelievable the potential that can happen in the cryptocurrency space. So STF Academy, what is STF Academy? Well, it's a community of like-minded individuals that just literally come in and we just talk crypto all day long. I mean, think of a place, if you could go to a place where all your friends were hanging out and you were just talking about something that you're passionate about all day long. That's pretty much STF Academy. So it's an all-in-one crypto experience. Our Discord channel has about 300 or so members in there now that are just chatting, talking about cryptocurrencies all day long, helping folks get started in this space, just sharing knowledge all around. And by the way, it's free. I mean, all this stuff is free. Just hop in there and you can check out all this stuff by just going to our website and checking it out. Now, we do have premium content. We offer a 3 live educational series that I teach right now, but we have 3 new instructors that we have brought on board that are going to continue to add more content, live content as well. But as of right now, we have 3 live courses that you can participate in. I do them on a monthly basis, and I only take 12 students just because I want it to be extremely private, extremely intimate, and I want people's questions to get answered. I want everyone to feel super confident by the time they leave and graduate our academy. Now, we offer one-on-one mentoring and masterminds. We have a crypto community of up-and-coming educated participants that often have now become 3 of them have actually become our instructors, and more are on the way because of everything that they have learned. And really, I mean, it's a chance to be a pioneer in your family. More than likely, you're the first person that's ever really looked into crypto. And if you're not, you're definitely amongst the first to do it the right way. And that is to get educated first before you just go out there and start taking blind advice from folks that have no idea what they're talking about, right? And it's also an opportunity to build and grow your wealth part-time. And that's really what's important. This is something you can do part-time and you can put money in your pocket part-time. So what can you expect from it? You can expect a plethora of knowledge, a dedicated free private Facebook group. If you haven't hopped in the STF Academy Facebook group, I highly recommend you hop in there. You get free signal for traders. I mean, I post signals and I get not investment advice, but I just tell people what I'm buying that day. And if they want to buy, they can as well. Once a week, I do group Zooms for the graduates of the school. So if you have gone through the live courses, I do once a week Zooms for 3 hours every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. And we just talk about everything that we've learned for the week, the conditions of the market, what has happened, how you could have gotten better, what you could have avoid doing it, doing all these things we talk about for 3 hours every Saturday. And that's available to the people that graduate the school. You get a private premium Discord channel. So you get access to only channels that the graduates have attended to. If you are, so there's a general admission channel and there's a graduates channel where we post more advanced content and we talk about a lot more things that we don't talk in the general channel because the graduates have been educated, right? So I don't have to explain things 2 or 3 times as I would in the general admissions channel. And plus it's a benefit for those who have completed the program. Now, the private premium Discord channel is fantastic. I give portfolio management tips and growth strategies. Once again, it is not financial advice. I just show you my portfolio, what I'm buying, and I kind of give you an idea of why it's a smart move or why I'm doing it. It is not advice. I'm just educating you on what I'm doing and why it makes sense to me, right? So a full comprehensive understanding of how to navigate the cryptocurrency world, how to stay away from scams, how to stay away from network marketing companies and things that promise you the world, but really just can't deliver and turn out to be just elaborate Ponzi schemes. And I'm going to show you a badass trading course with proven success. Most of our instructors, actually 2 of our instructors are world-class traders because of our trading course, and they have made a boatload of money trading the cryptocurrency space because of what they have learned in school. So you're going to be able to take 4 quarters and increase them quite a bit. That's really, you're going to be able to compound your wealth. What can you expect from the Academy? You can expect to increase your wealth. And if you're interested in the live educational courses, it looks like this. The very first one is called Intro to Cryptocurrencies. It is designed for a beginner. Intro to Cryptocurrencies offers a comprehensive, in-depth look at the basics of getting started in crypto. So this is the basics. It's just for those who want to learn what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, how to sign up for an exchange, how to utilize an exchange, how to store and transfer cryptocurrencies, what's a blockchain, learn about the Ethereum network, learn about how these layer 2 solutions work to complement Ethereum. All the basics of getting started in cryptocurrencies are shared in the Intro to Cryptocurrencies course, right? And then we have who it's for. And it's, like I mentioned, it's for a beginner. So somebody who has minimal understanding, has never purchased crypto, doesn't understand how the blockchain works, confused on how to explain this in a casual conversation. Like, have you ever found yourself talking to somebody about crypto and they're talking to you and you have no idea what they're saying? Like, it just sounds like, Mandarin. Well, after you're done with our courses, with our live courses, you're going to be able to teach that person and actually understand what they're saying and have a coherent conversation with them. It's for people that struggle on understanding how to send and receive cryptocurrencies, how to store them, like I mentioned, and they want to learn in an interactive environment with a live instructor. And that's what I provide, just a live instruction. You can ask questions, you can engage and be present at all times. Now, that's the Intro to Cryptocurrencies. Now, the most popular course in the entire Academy, you would think it's a trading course, but it's actually the passive income course, because this is what people want: financial independence, financial freedom. Now, it's designed for a novice with understanding, some understanding of the basics in crypto, but it looks into earning passive income in crypto using high APY strategies or high annual percentage yield opportunities in the industry. So movements such as decentralized finance. So if you've ever heard the word DeFi, that's the new hot button in crypto, along with NFTs, with non-fungible tokens. So you're going to learn all about DeFi, all about NFTs. You're going to learn how to make money in the digital art world, how to make money in the passive income world, dealing with liquidity mining, automatic market making, all these financial tools that banks and major institutions use to provide returns for their investors. I'm going to teach you how to use them for you. Teach them how to use it for you so you can cut out the middleman and you can just focus on your wealth and how to bank yourself and turn, you know, just a small amount of money into potentially life-altering amount of income. I've had some great stories. There was a gentleman in our course who took the course in the second month. And this is not saying that these results are typical, but he turned a few $1,000s into multiple six figures because of what he learned in course 2. So definitely one of the most valuable courses that I teach, and the content in it is fantastic. So it's for novice people in crypto. You already know the basics, but you don't know how DeFi works and how all these other financial tools work. So you have a basic understanding. You do have technical knowledge of how to set up desktop wallets, or you know, if you don't know how to set up wallets and do all these things, I recommend you take the first course, because that's the 4th lesson in the first course. But you're somewhat fluent in crypto. You can hold your own. You can hold your own in a conversation. You understand how to send and receive cryptocurrencies very well. You're fluent around apps and tools needed to manage portfolios, apps like MetaMask. Maybe you're using a Trust Wallet or one of those guys that are very popular in crypto. I'm going to show you how to use additional tools like Phantom and other wallets as well. Now, you don't have to take it. I mean, if you are comfortable enough to go straight to course 2, you don't have to do course 1, but it is recommended that you take course 1. The Academy is called Start to Finish for a reason. It's start to finish. So we take someone at the very, very beginning and we take them through the entire journey of becoming an expert, right? And lastly, this is the most sought out course after the passive income course. Is the trading course. And the trading course is not for everyone. That's why the passive income is the most popular one, but the trading course is definitely the most profitable one if you master it quickly. Now, it is the ultimate test of financial discipline, with an exclamation sign. Trading cryptocurrencies is an advanced expert level course designed to be the final steps in graduation. Trading cryptocurrencies will teach you how to leverage your risk appetites for profits. Students that complete this course can expect to possess the knowledge to fully engage in the crypto space, not just as an investor, but as a means to earn active income and build wealth. An investor puts their money away and waits to appreciate, and one day cashes out. A trader makes money every single day. It is instant, constant cash flow, right? So this course will teach you shortcuts, hidden secrets, and the formula for success, which I designed myself 2.5 years ago. It is one of the reasons that I've made so much money in the cryptocurrency space, is because of the FFS formula, and it is now patent pending intellectual property of the school. And while there are no guarantees of success, students that complete this course will have will be in a far greater position. That's supposed to say position, not potion, position to earn income from the cryptocurrency space than your average participant. So who is it for? It's for experts. I mean, this is really the ultimate test of discipline. It's the ultimate test of just, you know, when it comes to money, it's so funny. Like, the more money you make, the more calm you think you'd be, but the more stress, high tense, everything becomes, because every move that you make as a trader, when you have more money, becomes more significant. So you have to have a strong level of discipline, a strong level of patience, because when you're trading, let's say you took your account like I did, if you know, I'll share my story with you in a little bit, but if you take your account from a couple $100s and turn it into hundreds of thousands of dollars, at that point, every little move in the market is tens of thousands of dollars in profits or losses. So you have to have a very, very strong personality and strong mindset to endure a loss and to enjoy, you know, gains. So you have to have a moderate to high level of discipline when it comes to finances. No gamblers, please. You cannot be a gambler. It's all about strategy. It's all about precision. Understands well how cryptocurrencies work. You have purchased cryptocurrencies. You understand how the blockchain works. You are fluent in cryptocurrencies. You're basically at that. You know, if you want to be a day trader or if you want to be a trader, you already know who you are. You're at that level of confidence. And listen, I don't want to scare off anyone who's brand new to watching this. Like, oh, I want to be a trader. I have more first-time traders than I do experienced traders. Hey, my school is made up of so many first-time traders that are having massive success because they have learned the fundamentals for myself, and they're not out there just trying to wing it, which is what most people try to do, and that's why they get crushed badly. So yeah, in trading, ignorance is not bliss. So you have to know what you're doing. So I have so many great first-time trading stories that, yeah, if you're a first-time trader or you never traded before and you're interested in doing this, by all means, there's definitely a roadmap for you to have success. So here's my personal story. I'll give you some samples. The very first time that I did the formula for success was in 2019. And I apologize, 2020. So this was March 25th, 2020 to August 1st. I do what I call 90 days run, 90-day run. So for the 90 days, I just trade every single day for 90 days, and then I take a break. And in this my very first 90-day run, I took 0.05 BTC, and I turned it into 1.33 BTC, which at the time, it was roughly about $300 to $26,000 in 90 days. Well, because Bitcoin went on the historic run, it actually became about $100,000. So when Bitcoin was at $55,000, that was close to about $90,000. When it hit 60,000, that was about $100,000 literally in profits that I made from 300 bucks. The second time that I did it again with $300 just to see if I could do it again. Maybe some people thought it was a fluke. So I started again the second time on the Christmas Eve. It was December 24th. I funded the account and I started again. And you can see here from December 25th, Christmas Day, you can see right here from Christmas Day to January 22nd, I took $300 and turned it into, I earned almost $11,000. I took a $9,000 loss overall for the month, but it ended up being basically a $10,000 month in 22 days, earned $500 a day almost. And I kept that going for another 90 days. And in the second month, just so you can see, I funded the account with $370.27 on December 23rd, 2020. That was the second time that I did this run. And by the end of January, it had turned into $20,000. As you can see here, I was earning about $1,000 a day by the end of January. And then the month of February came along. And in the month of February, it actually turned out to be from February 1st to February 22nd, I made $86,000, averaging $5,000 per day in profits from trading. And then when the run was over, when it was all said and done in March, as you can see right here on actually April 13th, so you can see the run from January 23rd to April 13th, the total ended up being, I took a massive loss at the very end there, if you can see on the March 23rd, but I ended up earning $283,000 from 300 bucks in 90 days. So it took $370 in 90 days and turned it into $283,000. Yeah, it's been a great journey. That was back in April. We're now in September. I've invested all that money, continued to grow it, and I'm happy to say that it has financially freed me. So I'm in a place now where I just love to give back, and the academy is really my passion. I love to teach this. I love to help folks have testimonies like this and have stories like this. If you can see, my trading account has been featured now 3 consecutive times as the top 500 traders in all of the world. Binance is the largest futures trading platform in the world, #1, with 17 million traders, active traders on the platform. And 3 consecutive times, as you can see, I've made $23,000 in one day the very first time. The second time made $37,000 in one day. And the third time made $19,000 in one day. And that put me in the top 500 in the entire world. I mean, the second one, that I remember that $37,000 day. That was unbelievable. I mean, that stuff blew my mind. $37,000 when I was a Best Buy employee. 9 years, it would have been 9 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. 2011, I was a best man player. That was my annual salary. Like that was what I made in an entire year. And I was able to do that in one day. So not saying that this is what can happen to you immediately, but it is definitely a product or a result of the product of the system if you follow and you engage in what I teach. So, I mean, this is not a bragging thing. It's more of like a recognition for a lot of hard work. Now, the October courses are officially open. These are the dates if you want to save them in your calendar. I only take 12 students. So it starts on October 4th and it ends on October 28th. And we go for 4 days for the first 2 weeks. And then the last third and fourth week, we go for 3 days. And they all start at 7:45 p.m. Eastern time, and they end at around 9:45 or so Eastern time. So you can take a screenshot of this, or you can save it. This is the schedule for the month of October. Now, here's a cool thing. You probably wonder, well, okay, let's see. How much does it cost? I don't teach this stuff for free, obviously, because it's my time. So I could have charged a lot for these courses, but what would be the point of helping somebody get started if they have to, invest their life savings to do this? So the very first course, I've seen it retail for around $1,000 just to teach people about cryptocurrencies to get it started. I ran a promotional price for a while for $497, but I ended up finding that the best deal that I could give my community and my folks for the very first course for 4 days of my time for 2 hours a day every night, it's $197. $197, and that's if you act in the next 24 hours. Now, let's be real. If you miss the 24-hour because you're watching the recording and you come back to me and say, hey, JC, can I still get it for the $197? Absolutely, you can. So that's the intro to cryptocurrencies course. Now, the passive income course is a little bit more expensive. It retails for around $2,000 from what I've seen and market research that my team and I have done. Now, my price is $997, but if you act now, you'll get a special price because of this webinar, because you're watching this recording, of $497. I can't do it for less than that, so I'm sorry. The stuff that you will learn for $497 will literally change your life. I promise you. That's not hypey. That's not hoorah. It is based on real testimonies and results. You can go into the Discord channel and you can ask the people in there what they think about the passive income course. And lastly, the trading course, the intro to trading course. I have friends that have spent $10,000, $15,000, $30,000 learning to trade, and all they have managed to do is lose all their money. So the retail is $10,000 for the course. You won't pay that. My price is $3,029.97. But if you act now, like act now, it's $997. $997 is the price that you get for the trading course. That's 6 days. 6 days of 2 hours each night sitting there learning about trading. I mean, guys, it's so much value that I give. I give you 4.5 years of experience, my success, how I teach you, I show you exactly how I took $300 and turned it into almost $300,000 in 90 days, right? So, and usually when I'm teaching the trading course, I'm doing a 90-day run again, so you can see real time live how I'm doing it and how that's performing. So you can see it happening and unfold right in front of you. Now, how do you sign up? How do you get started? Simple. Go to STF.Academy. Go to STF.Academy. That is the website. It's not STF.Academy.com or STFacademy.com. It's STF.Academy. Go in there, register for free. You can see more videos about what you saw tonight. You can actually join the Discord channel and you can see on the trading screenshots channels all the success our people have had. But if you go to the chat channel right here in the chat, you can ask people for advice. You can ask questions. What do they think of the school? And then if you decide to engage in the trading course, there's ranks that you can achieve. There's recognition ranks and so forth that we have as a school. And we have now, we just created our first apprentice trader. Someone made over $10,000 already trading in the school, just trading. He started with $100. Started with $100. His name is JT. He started with $100, turned it into $10,000. Actually, it's turned into $27,000, but he only needed 10 to hit the rank. But he took $100 and turned it into $27,000 in 2.5 months. Yeah, it's unreal. So $100 to $27,000 in 2.5 months. Now, his results aren't typical, right? They're possible, but you do have to apply what you've learned. JT has been trading for a very long time. I just took his knowledge and just refined it a little bit by introducing him to different simple strategies in the crypto space. We do have a monthly scholarship that's issued out every single month. So if you are interested in the monthly scholarship, all you have to do is send me a private message and let me know that you're interested in the scholarship program. Now, listen, this is for the very needy. This is for the folks that really need it. This is for the folks that are looking for a life-changing opportunity but just can't afford it. If you have the funds and the means, please leave the scholarship opportunities for those who really need it. But to get started, just go to STF Academy and just get in there, get registered, and you can send me a course inquiry if you want to ask me more. You can find me on the Discord channel. You can just click on my name on the top right-hand side there, and you can send me a message, and we can chat some more if you have any other questions. Now, I wanted to keep this right around 45 minutes. I'm at 51, so I just missed the mark, but I'm super excited that you tuned in tonight. If you have any questions, once again, you can send me a private message, or you can reach out to me directly on social media. You can connect with me any one of those ways. But thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was recorded. I'll make the recording available on our YouTube channel for STF Academy. And once again, I don't see any questions in the chat box, so I'm assuming everyone's good. If you do have other questions that come up later, feel free to send me a private message, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. With that being said, God bless you, everyone. Have a great night, and hopefully I'll see you in the STF Discord channel. Take care.